You know, because we can move through them and.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, was just to go move through them and be able to. There we go. Yeah, to go ahead and move through them, just to get the reinforcement in there. Because I'm kind of reserving the last. Once we get done with all the HISOs, I'm reserving the last two for the next class, because I want to start off with those since they're much more complex than anything else.
Gotcha.
But in terms of the skis and stuff, we'll just go ahead and zoom through them. Probably do about 10 each, just to get the repetition in there, and then we'll move on to the next one, and then I'll slow everything down once we get back to the HISOs.
Okie dokie.
And just to clarify, all the HISOs are pretty much room sweeps, so make sure you and Kim are good enough apart.
Right.
They take up a lot of space.
All right, so the first ski, again, basically the traditional choku ski, where you have the front hand. Yeah, the front hand starts palm up, the back hand starts palm down, and then when you finish, the back hand is going to finish palm up, and the front hand is going to finish palm down. So here, draw up, open up your hips, close up your hips as you launch forward, and again, make sure you have that little spin in the Joe, and then tension back and reset yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I just realized something. So let's do a quick reset. Hold on. In my haste, I forgot that we didn't bow in.
Hey.
So here's my picture of a Sensei. Let's just, God. All right, so real quickly, bow, bow, hello everyone, and let's get back on to practice.
Sorry, Sensei.
All right, the first part was really a pre-practice. That's what we'll go with. Anyway, Gaeshi ski, remember you're going over. This one, both palms are face down. You're gonna pick it up, ski straight through, reset. And the big thing about this one is you want to avoid any windshield wiping movement. You want to keep it as vertical as possible. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So the next one is a Shiroski, and I'll start by facing behind. So I'm going to start here and then back. So again, as a reminder, you're going to start with the basically going parallel to your forearm, and then you're going to strike down to the knee. So here, right? Ready? So 1, 2, 3. The other thing to note is that my back's straight the entire time. Even if I'm like seem to be leaning forward, my back is actually very straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, let's just do one more. 11.
This one goes to 11.
All right. So the next one that we're going to do is ski gaidan gaiashi. As a quick reminder on that one, you're going to do the ski, you're going to bring it back, and then you're going to roll it off your hips for the gaiashi part. Gaidan gaiashi. So there. The other part to remember on this one is that you're keeping your arms extended the entire time. It's just an illusion that we're bending our arms. There should always be a slight bend, but it's not like you're not using your arms to do the movement. You should be using your body. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who's lagging behind? Oh, Randall is. Okay. So the next one's basically ski shomanuchi, or that's what I'm going to call it. Saito Sensei actually called it something probably more accurate for Japanese, but my Japanese is horrible. So ski, bring it up, and then strike straight down. Ski. And remember, it's not a yokomen, so you're not going to go in and bring it around. That's a different movement. If you're striking here, it's a yokomen. If you're striking on top, it's a shomen, right? So you're going to ski, bring this up, then bring it down. Ski, bring it up, bring it down. I have seen Saito Sensei do it like this. I don't like that because I think it creates bad practice. He has shown it to where you keep it together, and that's the way I prefer it. So I think he showed this slowly. Sorry, can't see my hands. This slowly to kind of demonstrate what the action is. But I think in terms of the hands, I would have my hands cover over the gel and keep that connection.
Hi.
So try to keep that connection. It's much more controlled.
Meow.
Like I said,
We really just came to see the cats anyway.
I know that. Like Robert does an okay class, but gosh, those cats are cute.
Love cats.
All right, so you ready?
Hey.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? That was horrible. So we're going to do 7 again because I did a bad one. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so ski, 3. Yeah, gaidan gaiashi is 4. So those are the 5 skis. After we've done this rather brief reinforcement, do you all have any questions?
Just trying to get the movements down, the hand switching and things.
Yeah, it's about normal. It's why, I mean, honestly, the reason why Saito Sensei did this because these were core movements that he was taught in katas, until he broke it out and made it these separate exercises, which is where the Saburi came from. But anyway, all right. So if there's no questions, we'll go ahead and switch on over to the Shomans. All right. All right, Shomanuchi. So you only do this once, but to switch to going to a Shomanuchi stance, you do start left hand, left foot, left on me, basically. And you would switch by bringing the Joe up here, like so. I don't know how to explain that. I mean, let me think about this. So you're raising it up, you're bringing your right hand up to the third, and you're bringing your left hand up to the end. So the first movement, just regular Shomanuchi. You're going back and you're stepping forward. And the reminder on all Shomans is your right arm is a pivot point. Your left arm is what's developing the power. It's not really the arms. It's more like a lever action. So this is a pivot. And the movement of your body, I mean, if you think about it, when you're cutting up, you can actually see your left hand's orientation is going to change dramatically more. So just moving your body up and down will change the orientation of that arm, which is how that works. So if you keep the extension, you can do a rather nice Shoman strike with very little effort. So let's start with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so the next one is a combination. So what we'll be doing, Judge in the back, is you're going to strike, bring it up, strike. So you're going to walk forward, right? So strike, strike. Right? So, you ready? Of course you are.
Hey.
So, strike, strike, 1. Make sure you give yourself enough room. Strike, strike, 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9.
She's trying to break my grill.
10. What?
She almost smashed the Weber, man.
I'm not trying to kill the Weber.
She is.
Oh.
It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
So the next one that we're going to do is the Menashirski. I always have a tendency to forget the Shomans because of the last three are very similar in my opinion. So the first one's the Ashiro Minsky. So you're going to strike and here. So strike here.
Hi.
Right? So you're going to strike And again, you want to have that, the look is almost off the face, but you still want to look down the Joe. So it's going to look kind of awkward. Actually, let me do it this way. So here. So you want to have it right off the face. If you have it in front of your face and somebody manages to pop it back, you're going to hit yourself in the face with a Joe. All right? So, y'all ready?
Hey.
Right. So I'm going to start here. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Pick him.
7,
Down.
8, 9, 10. The next one would be the Shomanuchi Geidan Gaiashi. So it's funny because the ski one, you do the Geidan Gaiashi off your right leg. On the Shomanuchi one, it's going to be off your left. And again, this is one of the ones where I keep having a persistent mental block on, but it's here, here, here. The key thing with this and the Ushiro Mensky is that the Ushiro Mensky, if you notice, I look back. On the Geidan Gaiashi, I do not look back. So as you're doing this, I'm not looking back. I'm keeping forward because you're assuming that nobody's behind you. You're just following up with the second movement. So, right? Remember, the important thing with this is that you do want to make sure that your movements stay very incremental. Don't try to pull the Joe in. So don't do that if you haven't completed the strike. Complete your strike and then do the next movement. So, ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next one is, I think it's Gaeshi, Shomanuchi, Ushiro Ski. This one is based off that, like, it's kind of like it's like the second one that we did, where you do that reverse. So you're doing that reverse Shoman. You're going to, again, let it fall flat on your forearm, and then you're going to finish with a low strike. The strike on this one is aiming towards the knee. So that's where you want to aim.
We are turning around for that one.
You are going to turn your head back. You're not turning around. I wouldn't want to you aren't looking back. But as you can tell, my body motion is still forward.
Right.
It's not like the other one where you are more or less turning, or you are changing your hot knee. This one is more like a reverse strike, but you're still aiming, leaning forward. You're looking back to make sure you hit your target though. So, ready? That was horrible, so we're going to start over again. Thanks, Randall, for distracting me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One thing to emphasize on, and I was kind of not doing this, make sure you get all the way to the end before you initiate your strike. There was a couple times I choked on the Joe. Don't choke on the Joe. Use as much length of it as you can.
And let the backhand slide through.
Yeah, so when you're doing it here and you finish, make sure that you get the whole Joe and not choke on it.
All right.
All right? Because on the last one, I caught myself on that. All right, so any questions on the 5 Shomanichis?
And it's you're getting it over your head and striking down when you're doing
Yeah. Yeah, and just to reinforce what I get at with these is that you always want to try to make sure that you're putting the Joe as high above your head as possible, because chances are you're not pulling it up as high as you think you are. And then as you get tired, it's real easy to let your arms starting to droop. So if you keep thinking, I got to get as high as possible every time, even if you drop the Joe lower and lower, you'll still have better technique than if you didn't bring it up as high. If you had gotten the habit of letting it droop, basically.
All right.
That you were too high. So, all right. So now we're going to start getting into the finicky ones. These are the katatoris and the hysos. So the first one, again, and this is also when we start going into the dubbed room sweeper ones. So don't give yourselves concussions. The first one, you're going to start in a ski stance. So left arm knee. You're going to shoot it back to where both hands are together. And then you're going to kick it up and catch it at the top. So here, here. And remember, I'm going to try to do it slowly. As you're shooting it up, as you can tell, I'm keeping my hands extended. I keep my arms extended. And as I'm stepping up, I'm letting the Joe just kind of freely fly up. The other technical aspect is, as you can tell, I'm keeping my hands together. They're still close. I'm not waiting to catch the Joe. And just to explain that again to you, because this is also the one, these 3 techniques are the ones that you're most likely going to hurt yourself on. And same thing with the hysos. So as you're doing this, if you catch this and you miss, you're going to have the Joe fly over your head and you might conk yourself in the head. The other one, if you're late and you're doing this, you're going to start popping the Joe on your hand, and I guarantee you it's going to start hurting over time. So if your palm's hurting, it's because you're catching that Joe. You're not blending with it. So here, here, right? So you want to make sure you keep that together. All right, you ready? Cool. I guess you said yeah. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay?
Yeah, it was good.
So the last one, the next one we're going to do is the one where I think you nearly destroyed your house on.
Yeah.
So this is the one of the bigger room sweeps. So this is that one where you're going to bring it up behind your shoulders and you're going to kick it over. Again, be very aware of your space. I will show you how to do it. Now that we have, you know, thank God today was gorgeous. But now that we have the space to do this in, I could really show you how it's supposed to look. Without having the choke on the go. So you start here, bring it back. And as you can tell, I'm basically letting it ride on my shoulder, and I'm letting it kick off my shoulder and going around at an angle. So when I'm letting it ride off, as you can see, it's going at a diagonal angle, and I'm catching it down at the bottom. And again, you're meeting that Joe at the bottom. You don't want to catch it. This thing's pulling a lot of momentum, and again, you'll start hurting your hand. Will it be a major injury? No, but you might be going, why is my hand so sore after class? So you're going to bring this up, you're going to kick it off, and it's going to go down at that nice angle. So let's see if I can do it on the side here. So again,
Somewhat. Not really.
right?
Maybe point that.
Yeah, let me watch you too for a second.
You're letting go.
Yeah.
And we're ending up in the opposite Hanmi as we started, right?
Yeah. You want to. So when you're doing this, yeah, you're gonna start left Omni, you're gonna finish right Omni.
Hi.
I heard a catch on that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this isn't a overly complicated technique. It's really, in terms of the basic mechanics, this technique is not that difficult because all you're doing is bringing it back on your shoulder and then catching it. The part that is difficult is to making sure that you meet your hand down there, because as you can tell, I mean, I got a good amount of momentum coming through, but you're not hearing me like catch this. You're not hearing it smack my hand, right? So that's what you want to go with. If you're having difficulties with that, try slowing it down. You know, it's not always about power, it's more about control. So, but I should not be hearing a smack. If I'm hearing a smack, you're not catching it or you're trying to stop it. You actually want to bring your hand up and blend in with it as it goes down. And then when you slow it down, then you can stop it. It's kind of like, you know, easily stopping a car. You don't want to slam on the brakes every time because you lose control. It's the same principle of this. You don't want to slam, you don't want to stop this. You just want to slow it down to where you can stop it.
Right.
All right. So I was planning on doing the let's rush and do the 10 practice movements, but honestly, I think with the way you guys are doing it, it wouldn't be advisable. So, but any questions on that one? Do you want to do it a few more times?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, most people like these. So, just again, if you have to, go slow. Don't go fast. Fast is your enemy. You'll pick up your speed over time. And it's really not speed, it's efficiency of your movements. Uh,
Yeah, my leaf.
oh, okay. There you go. Okay. Randall, you might be using your arms a little much, but otherwise it was fine.
All right.
If you start feeling straining your shoulders, it means you're using your arms too much.
Hmm.
All right, so the next one that we did on the recap is the Haiso Yoknamai. Do y'all recall why this is one of the more important ones?
The why, just because it's tricky and it starts with a lot of the other techniques start with the Hasso figure 8 movement, right?
No, it's not 100% correct. I mean, yes, the next set of movements are going to be focusing in on Haiso movements, but the real reason is because Claude Berthium Sensei teaches this almost religiously whenever he teaches Joe. So you want to know this one, or you will be fumbling with the Joe like mad. I've had people sit there with their doubts saying, oh, no, he's not going to teach this crazy movement. And then he does, and they're like, oh, my God, I'm so grateful you taught me this, Robert. So that's why we do this.
Nice.
So anyway, the recap on the Haiso Yukmai, and it's always going to finish off in a very aggressive stance. So you're going to start, most of the time you start with left palm knee forward, but the Joe's on the right-hand side. You're going to bring it up, catch it on the left, and then whip it forward on the right. So you finish like so with left foot forward. So again, here. I have also seen it like so. This is a deflection, which is why I think Saito Sensei, I had to double check some of the old videos, but I believe Saito Sensei had it both ways. I think on a kata, he would step forward. On the saburi, he would step backwards. So, and I think it's just his general practice. So I normally do it. I normally step back and then forward instead of stepping forward and then back. However, for your own practice, if you want to just mess around with it, step forward and back with the right foot and then step back and then forward with the left foot. You get the same result, but it is a different, obviously it's different dynamics. So when you're ready, you're going to lift up, here, here. The other thing that I want to point out is, as you can see, I'm trying to keep it as vertical as possible on the last motion. And yes, I have done this in a class with a kata, so I know exactly how. I know that it's effective. All right, and so are you two taking turns, or are you both going at the same time?
We're both going. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do 20 of these, 2-0. So you get the repetition in, and hey.
Going over and catching it, and then continuing to go over and then catching it.
Yeah, but you don't want to catch it down here. It actually should be all the way up here. So you should have it above. You should have it about your shoulder height.
It just looks so much more complicated when you do it than when I do it.
I look complicated.
Yeah,
Do you know who you're talking to?
Mr.
I'm one of the simplest people you know.
Captain Complicated.
Actually, for a time, I was considered Captain Obvious.
No.
So again, you're lifting it up. You're going to catch it. Then you're going to come forward and catch it up here. So we'll go slow a little bit on this one. So again, catch, catch. So to further explain, as I'm raising this up, because I do want to lift the Joe up a little bit, I'm going to step back. That body movement, stepping back, is going to cause the Joe to whip around. So that it goes from my right hand and it gets caught in the left hand. And then as I step forward, you're going to push the Joe with your left hand. It's going to whip up, and then it's going to fall here. So you're going to lift it up. All right. So let me try to watch you guys for a second. Make sure you're doing it or in line. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. So now we'll go ahead and do the 20.
So then we'll do right forward.
No, we're just doing, Ken, we're just taking a step back with our left foot and stepping forward with the right foot. We're not doing the switch off. You can do this. You can experiment with it outside of class. I just wanted to show both. But on this one, we're just gonna take a step back with our left and then step forward with our left. So the right foot stays put. So,
Bless you.
all right.
Hey.
So we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So does that feel good?
Yeah.
Cool. So
Certainly better than the beginning of class.
So the next set is all entirely new. There are 5 of them. They're all HISOs. A couple of them are room sweepers, so we're definitely going to be taking these slowly. So the first one's going to feel the most natural. It's the one I have a tendency to do out of habit. So I try not to do it out of habit all the time when I'm doing katas. So the first thing when you're starting off with the HISOs is you're actually not starting off here. You're starting off as if you're doing Chomans. So right hamning and all that. You're going to draw it back to the third. You're going to whip it around and get up to here. So we can at least do this first part a few times because honestly, that's the only consistent thing amongst all of these. So draw it back here. This should actually feel a little bit easier than what we just did a second ago.
Aha, okay.
Want me to watch you for a second? Good. Good. Wait a minute. Do it again. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So this is why the first one is going to feel most natural. So you're going to start here. You're going to cut up. And then you're going to switch it over to a showman. So the only thing that's a little tricky with this is the fact that your hands, I can say this best, people's thumbs have a tendency to get stuck on the top. So what I mean by that is you're here, that thumb, and I'll show you in a second, has to switch before you do the showman. So try my best to show you all this. So here, so you're going to let that thumb roll out of the position before you take the showman strike. So I'm here, you're going to let that roll. And then you can go into a showman. And it should feel like a traditional showman. I've seen some people, they bring this up. They'll go to here, and then they'll bring it here, and then they'll do this form of a showman, and that's not correct. So that's why I'm telling you, you want to let that roll and do a traditional grip.
Right.
So, again, we're here, strike. I'm gonna watch you guys for a second. Yeah. One other little thing in terms of the advancement is you want to make sure you're launching off that back foot. So if I'm hearing a loud stomp off the front foot, it means you might be dragging, and you don't want to do that. Also, if you haven't realized, there are two cats yet again in my backyard. The other one left. This is a new one.
What?
Huh?
Oh my goodness. Coming and going.
Which one was the one that got in a fight?
That was Tommy. He was the other cat. This is Audrey. They get along. They're treat buddies. They come here to beg for treats for me. So, anyway, back onto the actual topic at hand, which is teaching weapons. So, bring this as high above your head, and as you cut down, and as I said before, as you advance, you want to make sure that the advance is coming off the back foot. Also, you want to make sure that your steps are light. I mean, you're supposed to be agile when you're doing weapons. If you're stomping down, you're solidifying yourself to the ground. So practice a little bit more. Good. Any questions?
How much time you got?
Yeah. So is this so the first movement, it's a slide back?
No, it's not a. Oh,
Slide back, and then you're pushing.
it's not a slide back. As you can see, I'm stepping back.
Uh-huh.
So I'm stepping back, and then I'm stepping forward. Yeah.
I'm going too far every time. Here.
It changed my movement a bit. Yeah, it did. I was sliding back.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
No, on all these ISOs, you're going to be stepping back. You're not going to slide back.
uh-huh. Yeah, okay. That makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So let's move on to the next one. And then I might do, if we got time, I'll try to do a recap on the 5 ISOs. The next one, and honestly, I'm actually quite weak on this one. So if I look clunky, don't be surprised. I've tried for years. I'm still trying to smooth it out. This is really a hard one to do.
Mm.
So you're going to come back, and slide it down, Minsky, and then you're going to pop it back up.
Oh, yeah, spunky looking one.
So it's really messed up in the sense that,
It's like the sneaky, I'm going to get you. Oh, then I'll poke you in the eye. Ha!
yeah. And then you do a second ISO. So there's a lot of components to this one for what's essentially a ISO my Minsky. So what you're doing here is you're going to slide this down. Yeah, pop them in the nose, pop them in the eye, and then you're going to ISO them back in the face, and you're going to bring it back up into this position. So you're essentially going right back in the ISO.
Huh.
So here, here. I've never been that good with this one because I had a tendency to choke on the Joe every time. And supposedly, according to Saito Sensei, you're supposed to go all the way down and use the whole thing. And whenever I try to do this smoothly, I never end up getting the whole thing. Of course, my Joe is also technically a little long for me too, so I'll use that as my excuse. So you're here. You're going to bring this down.
Can you go from the ski to the hyso again slowly?
Slow. Yeah, sure. So, doing the hyso. So you're going to go from the hyso. You're going to, again, roll your thumb down. You're going to slide this down, and then you're going to slide this forward. And then as you slide it forward, and then you're going to end up sliding this forward to the third, and you're going to pop that.
Okay, so that back hand is coming forward and the right hand is pushing it into the hyso.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just do it really slowly together. So again, start right on knee. You're going to do the hyso that we've been doing the whole time. You're going to roll that thumb off. You're going to slide this down. You're going to do the Minsky. You're going to let this pop back a little bit. So you're going to let this come in a little bit, and then you're going to flip it back in a hyso. So let's do this again. You're going to deflect, ski, and then deflect again. Deflect, ski, deflect again. See, I'm always quirky with this one when I try to smooth it out. Here, here, here. So again, slowly, deflect, ski, deflect again. And as you notice, when I slowed down, I made a lot less mistakes. So here, here, here. So again, deflect, ski, deflect again. Let me watch y'all real quick. Yeah.
Fine.
So, in terms of the footwork,
8%.
you're gonna take a step back. You're gonna ski, so you're gonna stay in the same hamni, and then you're gonna pull it back again. So you're not stepping forward with that ski. You're keeping your hamni the same whole time. Part of that is just you. This is one of those where you ask your philosophical question: do you want to hit yourself in the face, or do you want to get hit in the face? So what I'm getting at with that is, if you take a step forward, you'll physically see that that Joe is just reoriented itself to right in front of your nose.
Mm-hmm.
So the ski is here. If you're in left hamni, you're more likely to have it to the side of your face, which is why you don't step forward. So that footwork that I'm referring to is basically you're only staying in right hamni on the first part of it, and then the rest of it you're going to be in left hamni. So let's keep trying it.
Aye.
So do y'all have any questions?
It's pretty good. My battery only has 8% left. So
Okay, so we'll speed this up then. All right, so the next one is a Haiso Ushiro ski. By the way, hopefully that 8% lasts 20 minutes. Is Haiso Ushiro ski, so you're gonna come back and cut down. So it's here, right? And you're aiming again towards the knee. So you're gonna bring this up, bring it down. The way the hands work is you're gonna, again, roll the thumb over. You're gonna make this flat, and then you're gonna extend up to the top. And you're gonna finish the strike to the knee. So here, here. And again, don't choke on the Joe. That was a bad thing that I did. Here, here.
That's tricky.
You guys got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Ugh, lose it.
You're not switching Hanmi after that, right?
Omni question.
Back.
So,
Back.
no, you're not switching your Omni.
Hi. I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
But, yeah, but if you think about it again, this is more of the level of comfort question. So the reason why you don't want to switch your Omni is I mean, like you're kind of spinning this. See how awkward that is?
Yeah.
So, no, you definitely don't want to do that. You want to have that solid plane
Right.
for the Oshiro ski. So,
I like that one. I feel like I can make it real smooth.
Huh?
I can make it real smooth when I want to.
Nice.
But you're supposed to stop with the high. You don't want it to be too smooth. You want to stop the movement,
yeah,
then switch, and then go.
yeah, you don't. Yeah, you definitely don't want to. And the reason why I emphasize the stopping, I mean, watch Saito Sensei. It doesn't look like he's stopping, and I get that. There are times when I do this and it doesn't look like I'm stopping. The only reason why I emphasize the stopping is because a lot of people will take shortcuts and try to skip movements. And I mean, you do this in your open hands. You skip movements, and then you wonder why Rocha's throwing you, why you're having a Kaishiwaza done on you. And a lot of the biggest number one reason that I've always found is it's because people are trying to shorten a step to get to the next movement. You don't want to do that. You still want to make sure that when you're doing these, you have the high toe in place before you switch, so you don't make those mistakes. Because what usually ends up happening with weapons is when you try to shortchange things, you end up dropping the Joe. Your movements get sloppy. I could go down the list. I mean, I think you already know what will happen, but it usually leads to just plain old sloppy technique.
Right.
Here. So yeah, I mean, as you can see it, I'm still going into the full ISO before I'm moving to the next movement.
All right.
And if I'm going too fast, just say, hey, Robert, slow down.
No, going good. Going good.
Yeah, because I think I've done this. Like I said, I think I was originally taught this like 15 years ago.
Wow. Did you go to Iwama?
No, I'm just knew a guy who learned the Wama. Saito Sensei had long passed by the time I started Aikido.
His son's still teaching there, though.
Yeah, his son's actually the one trying to reunite Iwama with the Aiki federations.
Wow.
Because for the longest time, they didn't talk to each other.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, because you probably only have like 5% left now, let's go ahead and move on to the next ones. So the last two are going to be room sweepers. Yes, be ready for them. So the first one, this way, is here. So, and again, you're going to want to keep it smooth, but
That one feels better.
you're bringing this up and you're cutting down. So this is actually you're actually smacking somebody straight on the side of the leg. That would be the target.
Ow.
So, yeah, let me see if I can. So again, and let me slow it down. So you're going to bring this here all the way up. You're going to, again, let that thumb roll over, and then you're going to bring it down to the knee.
Okay. Here, rolling the thumb, and then down.
Yeah, so what I mean by rolling the thumb, again, is I'm here, I'm rolling that thumb over so I can do the next movement, or next movement, or next movement. So you just want that thumb to be able to roll underneath
Hi.
to reverse the grip.
And what when you're so you're coming from here, rolling the thumb under,
And then cut.
and then cutting diagonally across.
Yeah, so if you're thinking if somebody's like behind you and they're striking at you, you're going straight down, and if you think about where your leg is at the front, That's a hard strike to the side of the leg, to the side of the knee. That's what you're aiming at.
Right?
Which usually means the person goes out crying.
Yeah.
So
And you're like unwinding sort of your arms as you're.
yeah. So think about this. So yeah, as I'm bringing this down, as you can see, I'm not totally turning my head around. I'm not totally turning my body around. Kind of treating it more like the Oshiros. So I'm not going all the way around like so. I'm actually,
Hi.
and again, part of that's just to maintain because you're trying to maintain the momentum of the Joe, right? So that this actually slows you down. In order for me to keep the speed, I actually had to move my leg around, which kind of goes into the next one. So on this one,
Keep your hand on top.
yeah. The other thing I gotta forewarn you on, because I just kind of built myself on that one, is you want to make sure that you keep a slight bend in your arms on these. Oh shoot. Yep. Did your computer know? God, why does it do that? Man, I had like one more to show him too.